Arsenal fans, how are you this morning? Calm down yet? What a night for Declan Rice, Mikel Arteta and pretty much everyone connected with the club. They beat 15-time champions Real Madrid 3-0 in their Champions League quarter-final first leg at the Emirates.
Rice with two simply magical free kicks, having never scored one before. Both won by resurgent Bukayo Saka, starting for Arsenal for the first time in 4 months. And it was a great finish too from Mikel Merino.
Yeah, Arteta says he always believed that they could beat Madrid, but accepts there is still plenty of work to do.
They've been waiting for this game, you know. The moment that we got the draw, there isn't a team, that club, that is going to motivate you though for the right reasons, because they changed the history of the competition and they are the best team by far in the competition. And our challenge opportunity was to, face them and try to beat them. The atmosphere that we created 15 minutes before kickoff already, something I haven't seen before. So playing with that energy, with that commitment with your crowd makes a huge difference. And then magic moments. I could sense in the preparation that we were really at it, that we had that belief and that trust that we could create Madrid a lot of problems. But then it was the theme of the game, make it happen. Then you have to make it happen. But if you have that mindset and that belief, things can happen, and we delivered today. It's just half time, but we are very happy.
Well, there's certainly no doubt about the star of the show for Arsenal, Declan Rice, and his two sensational free kicks.
They were remarkable. And Rice, who'd only actually taken 12 free kicks at a goal before last night, became the first player in Champions League history to score 2 direct free kick goals in a knockout stage match.
It's been very determined because we have talked in the last few months. We haven't scored a direct free kick since September 2021. Burnley away, Martin Odegaard. So it's been a long time. So to score 2 goals in 12 minutes of that magnitude, of that quality from the same player, a player that has never scored a free kick before in his career, I mean, what are the odds? But he's done it tonight, and I'm a big believer. I think the crowd played something with the energy that they put in, and it helped us massively to win the game.
First time I've seen a good free kick of Dec today, because we don't score a lot of free kicks, direct free kicks. So I'm so proud of him, and I hope he will score, and I'm sure that he will score again.
Well, as you can probably imagine, Paul Merson was extremely excited watching the game in the Soccer Special studio. Have a look at this.
There's a free kick 30 yards just to the right hand side. Yeah, I do well to score from here, if I'm being honest. Rice. What a goal! What a goal! Oh my! What a goal! Oh my! I'm saying don't shoot from there. What a goal, Declan Rice! He whips it with the right foot around the wall. I mean, wow! What a free kick this is. It's an Odegaard over. It's about 25 yards out left of the goal. For me, it's for Rice to bend it over the wall. He bends it. Oh! Did you see? Oh my, he's in his free kick and he's bent it into the top corner. It's a phenomenal free kick. Oh my God, Rice, baby. Honestly, I can't explain. The first one was good. This one is better. It's unbelievable. And Courtois over that side. And he's bent it, whipped it, and you beat Courtois from there. It's unbelievable. What a goal.
Leeds should be 3 up. They should have the game in the bag. Here they are, and they're leading by a goal to 0. I'm going to shut up. You can tell there's another goal at the Emirates. What a night for Arsenal against the European champions.
Oh, Mourinho scored, and it's another worldie. Lewis Kelly gets the ball, and he rolls it across the box, and he hits it first time, left foot, whips it in the far corner. I cannot believe what I'm watching here. It's Arsenal 3, the champions Real Madrid 0.
So Paul Merson out of control, but Arsenal certainly in control of the tie. And it's a long way back for the 15-time champions Real Madrid.
Yeah, Carlo Ancelotti, however, isn't giving up.
I never expected, no one expected that Rice scored 2 goals on set pieces, and he scored 2 goals on set pieces tonight. So football, everything can happen. We have to believe, we need to have trust, because sometimes, a lot of time in Bernabeu happened.
Well, Jude Bellingham accepts they were second best last night, saying we were lucky Arsenal only scored 3 goals against us. But he doesn't think it's over. He goes on to say if there's one team that can do it, it's Real Madrid. We need a magical and perfect night.
Well, as you can imagine, there's only one story in town in the papers this morning, and quite a few of the papers that have gone with the headline, Bend it like Declan.
Yeah, Henry Winter believes the victory will go down in Arsenal folklore.
It's probably their best night in Europe since the 5-1 at San Siro with Thierry Henry. I think it's one of the best free kicks that Arsenal fans have ever seen.
Completely dominated. Probably the best team in Europe, certainly in this competition historically. Real Madrid have been a bit off colour of late in their last couple of games, not getting a win. And even really, they could have gone out against Atletico Madrid. They lost the second leg before coming through on penalties. They're without Tchouaméni and a couple of defenders, but they had all of their attackers at their disposal. Jude Bellingham was there too. And Arsenal completely overwhelmed them.
If you're Thomas Tuchel watching and you see his Declan Rice's performance, you saw certainly Jude Bellingham's performance in the first half and Bukayo Saka's performance in the first half in particular, and Lewis Skelly, you'll be thinking, wow, that's 4 of my sort of 10 outfield sorted out.
This is one of the iconic nights in Arsenal history, and they absolutely deserved it. And I think they'll reflect on it as a coming of age, that they really fulfilled their potential under Mikel Arteta.
Well, let's get some more reaction now, and delighted to say we can have Arsenal fan and broadcaster Sophie Nicolau join us. Sophie, so good to see you. Thought you might be in a fairly good mood this morning. Let's begin, shall we, with Declan Rice. Did you actually think he had those free kicks in him?
Declan Rice delivered a performance for the ages as Arsenal blew away Champions League holders Real Madrid with a commanding 3-0 win in their quarter-final first leg at the Emirates Stadium. The England international, not previously known for his prowess from set pieces, scored 2 jaw-dropping free kicks that left fans and pundits in awe. The first came in the 58th minute, catching everyone including Real Madrid's defense off guard. With Bukayo Saka standing over the ball, many assumed the winger would take the kick. Instead, Rice stepped up and curled a sensational shot around the wall, nestling it just inside Thibaut Courtois' left-hand post. It was his first ever direct free kick goal, and it couldn't have come on a bigger stage. The Emirates erupted in celebration, but Rice wasn't done yet. Barely 10 minutes later, he produced an even more sublime strike from the opposite side of the box. This time, he bent the ball across goal and into the top corner, leaving Courtois rooted to the spot and Madrid reeling. The Gunners' third goal sealed a night to remember and put Mikel Arteta's men in a commanding position heading into the second leg. With Rice's unexpected brilliance and a rock-solid team display, Arsenal took a giant stride toward the Champions League semi-finals. If Rice's emergence as a free-kick specialist continues, he may have just added a new, dangerous weapon to his already impressive arsenal.
Our progression in the Premier League, but you take nights like this. I know there'll be a lot of people talking about it's only half time and there's still a second leg, and yes, of course, but you have to be able to, as a fan, savor these moments. We've been absolutely craving, so thirsty to have a night like this in Europe, a signature win, a signature moment. And I'm really happy also for Mikel Arteta and the players, and in particular Mikel Arteta, who's come under a lot of criticism from a lot of us broadcasters as well. And I think this was a seminal moment for him as Arsenal manager.
Well, that's just it. Does it feel almost like a coming-of-age sort of victory, albeit, as you say, at the sort of halfway stage, for Arteta and for this Arsenal team?
Yeah, Hannah, I think it's a really good point because we've shown great moments. We've challenged in the Premier League. We've come close. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to close the deal. And as I was saying earlier, our pedigree in Europe isn't great. And it's really the baton that opposing fans can get us at. And it's understandable. Manchester United, Liverpool, even Chelsea recently have been able to bring trophies home in Europe. So for us, I think this is a major step. We needed to have a game like this, but also it's not one of those games where people can say, oh, they were lucky to beat Real Madrid. We wiped the floor with them last night. And I think that every Arsenal fan should be, and I know they are, super proud of this victory. And it's okay to savor it and not think too far ahead. But the way we played, the way we controlled the tempo of the game, I think in the first half there were moments where Real Madrid were rising, but we were able to combat that and we handled it really well. Major flowers to a player like Kivior, who was probably under so much pressure last night to come in and perform for a player who's been a gladiator for us this season in Gabriel. He deserves major flowers. Players like Mikel Merino, who've been asked to play in the number 9 role, came in as a midfielder. He might be playing better as a number 9 than he does as a midfielder. And again, Mikel Arteta making that decision was pretty bold, even though, we were light on choices. But he's risen to the occasion. And, Declan will get all the headlines. There's another player that I want to mention. And I think he's a player that we should cherish and maybe not be so harsh in the headlines, in the press. And that's Miles Lewis-Skelly. He's an England budding star. He's a star already for Arsenal. He's come under a lot of fire. A little bit like Bellingham, they both have confidence and they're kicked for their confidence. And really, we should be appreciating the fact that here are 2 young English players who play the game with so much passion and a lot of confidence. And I think that we should celebrate that and put them on a pedestal instead of kind of throwing them in a puddle.
Very well said. Look, Sophie, brilliant to talk to you. Continue to enjoy what last night was and represents for this Arsenal team. Thank you so much.